And from insecurity to food insecurity, one bothers heavily on the other. And increasingly, the prediction by the UN World Food Programme looks, closer than we ever imagined. About 33 million, according to its report, of Nigerians may be food insecure. Let's have this conversation on the way forward. And joining us on this particular segment is Dr. Michael David. He's the team lead, Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation. He's right there in our Abuja studio. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we wish we were talking about something more pleasant, but difficult as the conversation may be, it must be had. I wonder if you've been following our conversations. Right from yesterday, the governor of Benue State was talking about how Benue is supposedly the yam capital of the world, but that is coming increasingly under threat due to the consistent attacks. Of course, Plateau is also there. Governor Mutwanga has also expressed concern on the huge threat that these attacks have on food production, agricultural production in that state as well. But do you get a sense that the administration is taking these issues seriously with the response or the lack of it to tackling this continuing security threats?
And I will respond by saying that if the administration is taking this as serious as it should be, the number of farmers we are losing on a daily basis should not have arisen. You know that the welfare of every citizen starts with food. And if you want to save the food system, you must first save the farmer. Without the farmers, we don't have food to eat. Clearly, statistics have all shown. The CADRA harmonizes report, which is a report produced by the federal government of Nigeria in partnership with other international organizations like the FAO and the rest, clearly shows that over 33 million Nigerians will face food insecurity, food and nutritional insecurity. It is not far, it's this year. From the lean period of June to August 2025. This period is when farmers have planted. But now you are preventing farmers from planting because this is exactly what it appears to be. It is about this time that the rainy season is coming. Farmers are preparing to go to the field. And now you are attacking them in their communities, displacing them. And to me, it appears like, it's a system that has, been repeating itself year in, year out. At the onset of the rainy season, you attack farmers, send them away from their communities, so they are not able to grow, they are not able to plant their crops. And what are you doing in this regard? You are endangering the lives of other Nigerians because our food shortage is real, the food inflation is real, the food and nutritional issues that 11 million Nigerians, children, 11 million children are in danger of starvation. It is not 11 million ants. So farmers have become an endangered species in their own country. And the sad reality is that after every attack, it is when the security people will come and count the number of people who were dead. And no one is preventing this from happening. It is happening over and over and over. The governor of Benue State was on TV yesterday. He had meetings just yesterday, but that same yesterday, attacks still happened in Benue State. And it's not just in Benue and Plateau. I mean, if you know what the Nigerian farmer go through without any form of support, which it is very painful. They are killed on their farm. They pay tax to bandits to allow them to plant their crops. They pay tax to bandits to allow them to harvest their crops. And when they even harvest, to get it out from the farms to the city center, the police are on the way collecting bribes. The middlemen are there. If the flooding comes with climate change, everything is wiped away, as has been forecasted this year. Over 30 states will be flooded, and in most cases, it is the farmers and their farms that are impacted. No form of support. Even when the support comes, it is nearly 1 year after. There is no insurance. There is nothing. So the farmer in Nigeria is an endangered species, I will repeat. And we must take serious steps to ensuring that farmers are protected. That this systematic land grabbing that is happening, and we are looking at it as something small, we must stop it. Otherwise, we will continue to have this level of food insecurity. And a nation that cannot feed itself is a very poor nation. And that is what is the situation with us.
What perhaps would be the intervention that the other regions of the country can provide in the interim? And do you get a sense that in that regard, state budgets also are reflective of the sense of urgency that there is an increasing need more than ever before for an increased allocation to the agriculture sector in other regions of the country as we continue to grapple with these attacks in areas that have been critical to food security in the country?
When you look at the geography of Nigeria, and you know that certain crops are produced in different regions. So, for example, if you attack Plateau State, for example, all the exotic vegetables and fruits that we get from Plateau are not grown anywhere else in the country. And that's where the challenge is. So, if you look at Benue, being the capital of yam in the world, and that local government that is constantly under attack, Ukun local government, is the headquarters of the biggest market, yam market in the world as well. Where else will you go grow yam? You will not grow yam on the plateau. Of course, other states like Niger, Taraba, and Nasarawa do grow yam, but you will not be able to get that quantity of yam. So what we need to do is basically to ensure that there is security for the farmers, even if it means getting farmers together and saying that, look, today, this week we are providing security for you, deploy security men into this hinterland and allow the farmers to go farm with protection. We will be able to solve this problem. At the immediate, that is what I will advocate for. Because the rains are here. Farmers are just preparing, the ground to ensure that they plant their crops. And you are preventing them from doing that, So, but the fact of the matter is that when you talk of budget, yes, we know about the Malabo Declaration. Is our government really, paying attention to it? No. We are supposed to dedicate at least 10% of our annual budget, on agriculture. How much of that is in the 2025 budget as approved? It's about 3-point-something%. Out of this, how much is even released is another question. Now, my major concern also is the state government. How much do states budget for agriculture? I mean, when you talk of protecting farmers and you talk of security of farmers, it goes beyond just awarding contracts as we know it with the politicians and the governors and all. It goes beyond just contract allocation, awards, and also giving peanuts to farmers. The dangerous situation that most of our farmers have found themselves, which it's important to mention, is that most of the inputs that are given to farmers, like the fertilizers these days, is even adulterated. Helpless farmers. You are waiting for input and you are giving input, it's adulterated. No one can check the quality. The quality of herbicides and pesticides used by farmers in Nigeria is what has been banned in Europe. You are exposing these farmers to health hazard. You are exposing these farmers to death and insecurity. You have a situation in Benue where a farmer lives in the IDP camp for over 10 years, has a child that has grown in an IDP camp, and the child is 10 years today. You can imagine the implication of that. No education, no form of social protection. And the worst is that it is our women, the farmers, that end up in this IDP camp. So we need to do more. Yes, please.
Yes, I want us to stay with the subnational level, because most of the time we head to the federal government and we lay a lot of blame. But if you have to call names, we don't mind. I mean, the people that are doing well and the people that you think can improve on what they are doing, because food security is fundamental to literally our existence and for national stability and national security by extension. So when you look at, let's say, the geopolitical zones, which governors are you seeing that from what you see they are doing, they are making some effort to better reposition the fortune of the farmers? And which governors are you seeing that are, for instance, saying, look, these governors need to step up their game to protect and provide for these farmers so that all of us are not going to be hungry?
Clearly, in states where farmers have been attacked, the governors need to do more. It is not enough to cry and call the federal government all the time. You are sworn in to be the governor to protect lives and security. And you must work with every stakeholder in the state to ensure that there is security of lives and properties, especially of the farmers, to ensure that they continue to grow food. And you must invest in farmers. One clear example of a state that I always would like to give example for is Lagos State. Lagos State has a very small land, you will say. But what are they doing? Look at the high population. Lagos would rather invest in other states, for example. Lagos is investing in Kebbi State to have the rice. Lagos is investing right now in Niger State that has the big land, and all. So Lagos has clearly shown that you can tackle, issues of food insecurity within your state, even if you don't have the land to produce. And that brings me to one of the things I feel that most state governors must adopt. We must save the land. How do we do this? We need to come up with a land use planning to ensure that we save arable land for agricultural development. This is very important and very crucial, looking at the population of Nigeria, that it's increasing day by day. At independence, we had a population of about 40 million people. Today, we're about based on the World Bank statistics, about 220 to 30 million people. It is the same land, the size of Nigeria, has not increased. Rather, it decreased because we cut, Bakassi and gave to Cameroon. Now, the arable land is decreasing because of desert encroachment, because of soil degradation. For us to feed this growing mouth, we must plan the use of arable land such that, and that's why a lot of us will say ranching is the way to go. You cannot at this stage be taking your cows all over the place. Look at the issues in Enugu, the issues in Benue, the issues in Plateau. We know, and if we must tell ourselves the truth, that is the truth, that at this stage, we must stop the open grazing system. It is further destroying our land. It is largely responsible for the land degradation up north. When the cows eat everything, The soil scientists will tell you that when your soil has less than 5% of organic matter, it becomes desert. And that's exactly what is happening. When these cattle eat and feed and expose the soil to agents of denudation, there is rain, soil erosion comes in. There is wind, soil erosion comes in. Because the number of cows have also increased. It is the same soil. So doing all of this, open grazing further destroys the soil. So we must plan, land use planning, to decide that, look, in this place, this area is very arable. Let's leave it for, for crop growing. This area, we can demarcate and leave this particular area for grazing, and there's talk of ranching. And also, within the FCT, almost everywhere is becoming estate.
David.
We must... Yes.
You're going into another terrain. I think you should have been on Professor Jaga's committee. This, very important points that you're making would have been very useful. But we must anchor at this point, and thank you very much for your insights on this segment of the program. We've been talking with Dr. Michael David, who is the team lead Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation, who has joined us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for being a voice for food.
Indeed, thank you. So perhaps, all these suggestions can also, come in handy where we have technological intervention in the area of agriculture. Let's have this next conversation on tech innovation with a female who is doing great things in that space. Stay with us. We'll be right back.